warm welcome to Bharata First. I'm Frank Rausen Pereira. This is FRP Explains. And since you're here, I'd like to request you all to like the video, subscribe, and hit the bell icon because that will go a long way in us bringing you this content. Well, let's start with what the Prime Minister said in his address to the nation on Monday. He spoke about how vaccines will be free for all adults across the country, and the government will procure, central government that is, will procure 75% of the vaccines, 25% will be procured by the private sector, and there will be a cap on the service charge that the private sector can charge, that is 150 rupees as service charge other than the vaccine itself. So those who want to pay and get the vaccine can go to the private hospitals and get them. The fundamental issue of availability of vaccine continues to exist, and that we'll have to see how it will be addressed in the days to come. Prime Minister spoke of a roadmap. Let's see what that roadmap looks like. And even previously, the government has spoken about getting 2 billion doses of vaccines by December 2021 and trying to get at least the first dose of vaccines for the entire adult population. Whether or not that will happen remains to be seen. Now, there has been a lot of controversy as well with regards to what the Prime Minister said about free vaccines for all. Those who support the BJP have hailed this as an extraordinary step, a step that only a bold Prime Minister can take, and hailed the move by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, calling it also the toughest decision and the best decision taken during a tough time. Several MPs and members of the BJP also have gone on to say that whenever India has been in trouble, Prime Minister Modi has come to the front and taken these tough decisions and pulled us out of difficult times. Now, if you look at the opposition is singing a different tune. They are praising Justice Chandrachud for directing the government to go ahead and procure, or asking those tough questions about procurement of vaccines. And they have also said it is because of the pressure that was put forth by the opposition over the last 4 months that the government has finally buckled and decided to take the words of the opposition seriously. And it is because of the opposition this move has been taken. That is what the opposition is talking about. Now, I would just say that I think it's a good move and a good decision, whether it was forced by the opposition or whether it was forced by Justice Chandrachud, or whether the government in its wisdom itself decided to go ahead with it. It is the right move for the government to procure the vaccinations and provide it for all, because the central government is in a better position than the states to actually carry this out and get this delivered. There is also another argument about how this is a state subject and it is the states who have to intervene and the states who have to take this forward as well. We've seen that too has not worked and that has not delivered on the ground. At least when the center was in charge of vaccine procurement and in charge of a plan and a roadmap as far as the Wuhan virus is concerned, we saw that there was some sanity amongst the people, and we saw that there was, there was a regimen to be followed, and it was good. But now, when the states had to eventually take over, it seemed very haphazard. Each state had its own, roadmap. Each state had its own thing to bring to the table. So it was a very confused state of affairs and state of mind. So it's a good move that the center has decided to do it. I was perplexed in the first place when 1 month ago when the government decided to go ahead and ask the states to get into vaccine procurement, because I knew it was something that will not work. But thankfully, better sense has prevailed and we have decided that the central government will procure these vaccines and deliver it free of cost to all the states. Now, the states at some point in time may play some games, especially the states ruled by the opposition, who may come and say that they are not getting the requisite amount of vaccines from the center, and that is not happening. The government, in its defense, in the first place, when they decided to decentralize vaccine procurement, had said that because of the complaints of several states that they had decided to go ahead with that decision. I see this being a problem going forward as well. And, there will be several state governments who will come and say, now the same state governments who are praising the central government will come out a few months later and say that the state government is not giving them enough vaccines. This is an eventuality that we have to be prepared for. On the whole, a good move. Let's see how it progresses and where this actually goes. If it is implemented well, I think it is the best decision for us all. With that, it's a wrap on this edition of FRP Explains. If you like the content, you may like the video, subscribe and hit the bell icon. For those of you who would like to come forward and contribute to keep our content alive, you may do so by using our UPI IDs. A small contribution that you make will go a long way in us bringing you this content. Do let us know what you think about this issue, and any feedback and suggestions that you would like to leave for us, you can do so in the comment section below. I will ensure that I go through them. That's it from me. See you again next time.